Everybody knows that house always wins, and that you can never get the advantage over a casino to actually win money. But in some games that involve element of skill, it is possible to get the advantage over other players and win more money than casino takes away from you. The most popular example of this is obviously poker, and for some people their poker winnings are their full-time income. Some people build their houses and their entire careers from winning in poker. They constitute to the very low percentage of people who actually won from gambling. Now the question that I wanted to ask is, are there any online gambling sites that offer a game mode where you can get the advantage over other players to win money? Luckily the answer for this question is yes. Let me introduce you to the game called Cursed Jackpot. This game mode was invented by Clash.gg, a crypto casino with the CSGO layout that offers both CSGO skins and crypto withdrawals. So even if you don't have Steam account, you can still use it. Normal jackpots work this way that people drop money into a pot, and when the time ends, a winner is picked randomly. And the more money you drop, the more likely you are to win the pot. Obviously once you win, then casino takes a fee from your winnings, and because of that every player in the long term is losing. That obviously applies to every single game, except Cursed Jackpot. The premise of Cursed Jackpot is quite easy to understand. Players also drop money into a pot, but winner is not chosen randomly. To win, you need to be in the winning spot. Before a game starts, the winning ticket is already decided, and you can see it here. Your job is to make sure that you end up occupying the winning ticket, and that's how you win the pot. The very important rule is that you can drop minimum 1 gem and maximum 10,000 gems. Alright, so now that we know how it works, the question is, can you actually win some serious money from it? And the answer, luckily, is yes. The biggest winner from the Cursed Jackpot is my good friend GGE, who is also a Twitch streamer.
Now, also, I want to show you guys how much profit I've made at the moment on this. It's more around 30k that I've made, what I have calculated, but I've lost 12k on stream and making videos and case battles and shit like that, so yeah.
He was playing the Cursed Jackpot way before he got sponsored, and on average he managed to win 1000 gems per day, which would be around 30,000 gems per month, which is around $20,000 per month. Another highly profitable player is Alex, who claims that he made over 70,000 gems in 5 months, which is 14,000 gems per month, which is around $10k per month. Those two are the most known high rollers in the Cursed Jackpot community, but it turns out that you don't even have to be a high roller to be profitable in this game mode. A player called Mio, who is known for not having that much in his balance, manages to win around 50 gems per day, so around 1.5k gems per month. He also says that playing Cursed Jackpot is his summer job, and it simply pays way better than any other minimum wage job that he could find in his country. Another player that I asked is called iLegend, and he also is known for not having that much balance whenever he plays Cursed Jackpot, but he still manages to win between 100 to 200 gems per day, which would be around 3,000 to 6,000 gems per month. The last player I asked was called CS, and he was kind enough to show his player stats to prove that he indeed is in profit from the site. Overall, he profited 2.5k and he wagered 47k, which means that he has performed with the RTP of 105%, which is crazy for a gambling site. He also said that on average he makes around 1000 gems per month. So there clearly are people who make money with this game mode. And once I realized that it is possible to actually make money from it, I decided that I will try it out myself. I've spent 2 weeks playing Cursed Jackpot for 10 hours every day to see how much I will be able to make from it. It started off really well. Nice, okay. They clearly don't know how this shit how this shit is working, so they're gonna just drop last second. They think you have to drop last second to win. We'll take it, we'll take it. Oh, what a pot! Let's go! I was making a sustainable profit for first few days, but then on day 6 I lost a very big pot in a very stupid way. Unfortunately I don't have any footage or any screenshots, so it's hard to explain it, but basically I lost 3,000 in one pot, and it was my stupid mistake of not looking how much other guy dropped before me. Because of this terrible day, I ended first week in negative and I lost around 2000 gems. But if I wouldn't have done this mistake, then I would be 1k in profit. But unfortunately I did it and I had to just live with it. Even though I ended up being down the first week, I still decided to try another week, as I did believe that if I don't do any stupid mistakes, I will be able to profit significant amount from this game mode. And that's exactly what happened. Week 2 was amazing for me. I clearly improved my gameplay as I started understanding more advanced strategies that weren't so clear to me in the first week, and my results clearly show that. I didn't have a single losing day, and I also had 2 days in a row where I've made over 1000 gems in one day. Overall, from week 2, I profited 4150 gems. And if I combine 2 weeks together, then overall from this experiment I've made 2164 gems in 2 weeks, which translates to making 150 gems per day, which I would say is a pretty solid result. What is also really interesting that in the community of cursed jackpotters, I was basically a laughingstock. People were saying that I'm the worst high roller on the cursed jackpot and that I only win small pots and lose all the big ones. I think that speaks a lot about the industry itself, because if somebody who manages to win 150 gems per day is a laughingstock, that means that if you actually become really good, then you should be winning so much more than that. There is a little bit of truth in what people were saying about me. My win rate wasn't really that high, but I utilized a certain trick that allowed me to get such high earnings without even being that good at the game. Basically, I used deposit bonus fully to my advantage. Whenever you deposit on Clash GG, and for example you use code URL, then you receive 5% deposit bonus with the limit of 100 gems of bonus coins. Unfortunately, in reality, the 5% deposit bonus gives you 3.3% of extra coins. I don't really understand why they can't just be honest about it. It's a common issue that I saw on multiple gambling sites, that 5% deposit bonus very rarely gives you 5%. Basically, what Clash does is that they apply the percentage bonus not to the amount of gems that you deposit, but to your crypto. So whenever you deposit 100 gems on the site, you have to send 68.5 because obviously 1 gem is not equal to $1, and you would expect to get 5 gems of bonus, but that's not the case, because they apply the 5% deposit bonus not to the 100 gems but to the $68.5, which is why it's actually only 3.3%. And obviously it is very deceptive, and I would like to see it changed. This actually is making the strategy slightly worse, because instead of having to deposit 2000 gems to receive 100 gems in bonus like it's supposed to be, you actually have to deposit 3000 gems to get 100 gems in bonus. So that means that whenever you deposit 3000 gems on the site, you are already 100 gems in profit. So you don't even have to be a profitable cursed jackpot player to win money. As long as you manage to break even from the cursed jackpot, that would mean that you would be earning 100 gems per day, which I think is a pretty solid result. Obviously, the most challenging part about breaking even is the fact that from every jackpot, the site takes 6.5% fee, which is quite high, and you also have to wager what you deposited. So by playing my strategy, I had to wager 3000 gems every day, which is not really that easy, as most of the pots on the cursed jackpot are quite small. Even though I am not necessarily perceived as the best player, I still would like to believe that I am sort of capable of winning, and I do believe that the results that I achieved in the second week are actually incredible, because on average I was winning around 600 gems per day. So let me tell you some theory on how to become a profitable cursed jackpot player. First, you need to understand the basics. Here I would like to explain a basic theory on how to calculate how much you need to drop to win the pot. I would say it is quite simple to understand. What you need to know is that every bet is going from left to right? So whenever somebody drops 1 coin, they're going to occupy entire thing. But when the second person drops 1 coin, so of course both people drop the same, one person owns half of the wheel and another person owns the second half of the wheel. So let's say that's the person 2 that dropped 1 coin, they're going to occupy this part, right? If you are a second person, you're going to occupy this part, and the first person would occupy this part. And in this particular situation, assuming that the winning ticket would be 60, the second person that dropped would win the pot. Very interesting situation would be if the first person would drop 2 coins, and you would drop 1 coin. The white person dropped 2 coins as a first player, and the yellow person dropped 1 coin. So obviously, you can very easily calculate that if the pot is 3 coins and you drop 2 coins, then you own 66% of the pot, right? And of course, the first person then would be covering the winning ticket. So now the question is, what's the exact amount that the yellow person needs to drop to win the pot, right? If the white person dropped 2 coins, and obviously dropping 1 coin is not enough, and surely you can also drop 2 coins and then just occupy the half of it, right? I would say that's very oversimplifying. What is like the exact amount to the decimals that yellow person needs to drop to win the pot? And the equation is very simple. I'm going to show you that. The amount that person dropped divided by the percentage, by the winning ticket. So in this situation, this is 60.43. So that would be 2 divided by 0.6043. And then you get how big of the pot needs to be for you to occupy the ticket, right? So if he drops 2 and pot needs to be 3.31, then you just need to drop 1.31 to win the pot. And to check whether you're not mistaken, you can basically do it this way, that he dropped 2 and see how much he owns of the 3.31. And he would be owning 60.42, right? So he would be actually under the winning percentage. So let's just draw the situation. Let's say he drops 2 coins. The white player drops 2 coins. He's gonna be right here. And you, the yellow person who dropped 1.31, will be perfectly in the red spot, occupying the winning ticket. At the beginning, I thought that the most skillful element of this game is to drop as little as possible to be in the winning ticket, right? For example, in this particular situation, when the person drops 2 coins, technically you can drop just 10, right? And don't give a shit, but then you would lose more money to the tax, to the fee that Clash GG is taking from pots. I thought that's really bad. I thought you have to always drop the perfect amount to cover the winning spot. But that just makes you really predictable, and other hunters who also are watching the wheel, they will know how much you're gonna drop, and they will basically snipe you in the last second, stealing your money. And that is, I would say, the main thing that I learned between the first week and the second week. I would say that's the main thing that I realized that actually started making me so much money, that it's better to be safe than sorry. And on Curse Jackpots, it's better to drop more money and lose slightly more to tax, but still win the pot, than drop less money and get sniped because of it, right? Or maybe not drop enough to cover the spot. That's for sure. So I'm gonna show you real life examples on why exactly I believe that's better. So here I would like to analyze a very interesting pot played by me on the Curse Jackpot. I did a very unorthodox play, I would say, that I wouldn't do in the first week. This is something that I really improved in my gameplay just later. That was a very common mistake that I used to do, but I learned how to not do it anymore. So basically you can see this situation that a guy dropped 10 coins, which is a very big start, but although I do recognize him, I know that he is a hunter, he knows how this game works. Mio is also a known hunter, and Joe Biden, he has no idea how Curse Jackpot is working, right? So this is just a clueless guy, and I see that there's 1 clueless guy and 2 hunters. What I'm doing, very interesting thing, which is that in my balance, in my snipe, I am holding 1,000 coins, which might seem weird. Why am I holding 1,000 coins when the pot is only 17 coins? You know, when you drop 1,000 coins into a pot, you're losing 65 coins to the tax. So that doesn't sound like a correct play. I realized that perhaps Mio or the Snixbur, they probably are expecting somebody to snipe them, so they have their re-snipe ready. Or perhaps maybe Mio will try to snipe it. You need to drop around 50 or 60 to win the pot. And I know that if anybody tries to snipe it, and then I drop my 1,000, then I will be able to steal his snipe. And that is basically exactly what happened. Let me show you how it played out. I already showed the pot in the video, but it's just very satisfying. So you see, Snixbar, he obviously did it too early, but he was expecting somebody to snipe him. That's why he dropped 271, because if you would drop 60 to snipe him, to take away the entire pot, then his 271 would take away your snipe. That's why he dropped it. What he didn't realize is that somebody was already having 1,000 ready that actually predicted this, right? And that's when I dropped it and I managed to win the pot. And I think it's a very interesting play that I wouldn't have done in my first week. What old version of me would have done is that when I was still doing my old mistake, is that I would just hold 60 something coins, or 70 coins. Here I would hold 70 coins and I would drop it last second. What would end up happening is that I would now drop it, and then the guy, the Snixbur, he would drop 271 and he would have stolen my 70, right? And that is what would end up happening. I would have lost the pot just because I was being cheap. So basically what happened here is that he wanted to predict me. He wanted to predict that I'm going to snipe the pot. But what ended up happening is that I predicted his prediction, right? And I knew that he was going to snipe me. That's why I had 1,000 ready, and I was able to put it in the last second and steal his snipe basically. There are also a few patterns that you need to know if you want to be a profitable player, which is how to play high tickets and how to play low ticket. Whenever the pre-selected ticket is 90% plus, that means that dropping big amount of money into a pot is very stupid, because let's assume that the winning ticket is 99%. That means that if you drop 100 gems into a pot, then I would just need to drop 1 gem to take it away from you. That's why the meta is to spam click 1 coin bets whenever there is 0 seconds left, and if you manage to be the one who plays the last bet, you're probably going to win. Whenever any pot ends, really recommend already having a bet ready, because it is extremely valuable to occupy a low ticket. Let's assume that 1% ticket is pre-selected. That means that if you drop 1 coin as a first person, then people need to drop 100 gems to get the winning ticket. But it's not profitable for them to do it because they lose 6.5% in fees. So by dropping 100 gems into pot, they lose 6.5 gems to fees. So it's very unlikely that anybody will actually snipe you. What probably will end up happening is that players who are not aware how the jackpot works will just drop money and you will end up winning. Obviously, people who are unaware how the game works are going to be your main source of income. You're just going to have to survive a fight against the other pros. Cash jackpot between pros is a very psychological game when also timing and your bet sizings matter. You need to be aware around how much other player could drop, and you need to make sure to master the ability of betting in the last milliseconds, which is something you're going to have to train yourself. Probably the most important advice that I can give you is that it is extremely valuable to be in the winning spot before the round is about to end, and just have a big snipe ready. The reason why I like this strategy is because if nobody snipes, which by the way happens very often, you will just win. But if somebody actually decides to snipe you in the last second, you still will have some time to react to it and re-snipe them. Obviously, most of the time they will bet in last milliseconds and you won't be able to place your re-snipe on time, and then whatever, you'll just lose your small bet that you place at the beginning. But sometimes they will not get the perfect timing and you will be able to re-snipe them, and that's how you win the bigger pots. What is also really important to mention is that you can also play on Rust Clash, which is basically the replica of Clash GG. The only difference is that they use Rust skins instead of CSGO skins, but they also allow crypto withdrawals, so that shouldn't be a problem for anybody. This site also has a different player base because it is advertised to Rust players by Rust YouTubers. Obviously, it is really good to use 2 sites at the same time because they also give you a deposit bonus up to 100 gems once per 24 hours. If you, for example, use code EUROD when depositing. That means that if you would deposit 3,000 gems on Clash GG and 3,000 gems on Rust Clash, and you would be able to wager 3,000 gems on each site as a break-even player on Curse Jackpot, then you would be winning 200 gems per day, which I think is a result that everybody would be satisfied with. But there's one big problem with Curse Jackpots, which is the lack of activity. Unfortunately, Curse Jackpot is the least popular game mode on the site, and that's why wagering 3,000 gems per day is not an easy task, especially on Rust Clash, where the overall traffic on the site is 2 times smaller. But I came up with a perfect idea on how to fix those problems. My idea is that at the beginning of every single round, a free money bot would join and bet random amount between 1 to 5 gems, but it would be impossible for this bot to win. So basically, if somebody is the only player to join the pot, then he is guaranteed to take what the bot has put it at the beginning. The very important rule would be that player, to be able to take the money from the bot, will have to match the bet of the bot. So for example, if bot would bet 5 coins at the beginning, to be eligible to claim it, you would also have to bet 5 gems, and that would encourage higher pots. I think this promotion would make it way more tempting for players to join this game mode because of the extra money being placed at the beginning. Also, nobody would just allow one guy to continuously join and take the free money from the bot. People will be competing for it, and therefore pots will be happening every minute like on the normal jackpot. I believe that the money that Clash would make from fees because of the Curse Jackpot happening every minute would definitely surpass the amount that they would spend on those bots. And it would also revive the most dead game mode on the site. I would like to end the video by quoting the classic. Do not get it twisted, guys. At the end of the day, Curse Jackpot is still gambling, and most of players are losing. There have been countless examples of people who went broke by playing Curse Jackpot, even though they knew how the game works. There were people who had thousands of dollars and they lost every single penny to the better players on Cursed Jackpot. I made it sound so colorful in this video, but keep in mind that it's not an easy money. It requires a lot of skills to actually win on this game mode, and only few people will be able to achieve this. So don't get it twisted, guys, and only gamble with what you can afford to lose. Anyways, thank you guys for watching, and see you in the next video.